supposed to be joining this? Okay.
Here we go.
Is this almost over?
Welcome back to In the Booth. I'm Shawn Booth, and thank you guys for tuning in. Wherever you're listening from, maybe you're in Bozeman, Montana, which SamCat just said she's traveling there later this year.
Very excited.
Not sure why. Maybe you're from Kyle, Texas, which SamCat grew up close to. And maybe you're in Leduc, Alberta, which is in Canada, SamCat, if you didn't know that.
I mean, yes, I know where Alberta is. I've also been there.
All right, there you have it. We are back. We are live here in Nashville, Tennessee, and she is wearing crocodile boots, black jeans, black shirt, looks like a backstage crew outfit, a hat that says Oddies. What's Oddies?
That's not what it says at all. I literally just told you the name of it. Yes, thank you.
Okay, established in 2024. Did you know that?
Are you okay? Do we need to check your eyeyesight right now? We're
My
30
eyes
seconds
actually
in.
messed up. Can you see that?
Yes, I can, actually.
Yeah, I think that's what they call little conjunctivitis.
Stay away from me. That's
Well,
not
I've had
cute.
antibiotic drops for the past couple days, so I think I'm in the clear. Or it could be a sty. Either way, it's been killing me. Today's the first day it's better, and I have been changing a lot of diapers.
I was going to say, that's exactly what I was going to say. You change a diaper and then wipe your face without washing.
Man, I don't know. I had a
Germs
rough
off?
one the other day. But anyways, we got Audie Cat in the building.
Okay, I'm not going to celebrate that because that's not even what my hat says.
Yeah, so I got conjunctivitis or a sty. Are you a doctor? What do you think? It looks more like a sty.
It looks like a sty.
Yeah, like the
Because-
upper eyelid is big.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
not like your eye is a regular color and
Is
you
it?
have no gunk.
Okay, yeah, I've had zero gunk.
It doesn't look like pink eye, but it does. It looks like a sty.
How do you get a sty?
Just like bacteria along your waterline. A lot of women get it when they don't wash their eyelashes, their makeup correctly.
Really?
But I mean, I'm sure there's other reasons. Again, as you pointed out, I am not a doctor.
Well, you sounded like one.
Well, I just have had a sty before, so I educated myself on what was happening and took care of it.
Well, a yearly, quarterly? How often do you
No.
get sties? No.
No, what?
Oh.
I've had maybe 2 in my whole life.
That's gotta
But
be
some
rough.
some people are prone to them.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
this could be a new development. You know, you can develop allergies later in life. Maybe you're just one
know.
of the lucky ones that gets your teeth to fall out and your eyes to swell.
I know. I was looking at myself in the mirror last night, and I had no tooth, and my eye was swollen. And I'm like, I'm a fucking mess right now. I'm a mess. And Dre's like, at least we got a really beautiful baby. I was like, yeah, good thing, because I am shit. I don't know what I am.
Listen,
But here we are.
it's a rough patch, man. It's okay. You'll get
Yeah.
out of it. I know you will.
We'll get through it. We're going to start today's episode off with the good, the bad, the ugly.
hmm
And we're going to kick it off to you, SamCat. We want to hear one thing in the news or trending that's good, one thing that's bad, and one thing that's just flat out ugly, like my eye.
Oh, well, I did ugly, not necessarily visually.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should we tell everybody how much time you gave me to come up with my ideas?
Nope. Don't need
Okay.
to do that.
As you guys can imagine, it was days.
Yeah.
Plenty of
At
time
least
to
48
prepare.
hours.
48 hours divided by. Okay, what are we starting with?
The
Good?
good.
Okay, so moving back to my hat that you couldn't pronounce correctly. My good trend, because I didn't really do news articles, I did trends. My good trend is country music artists opening more bars here in Nashville, Tennessee. I personally love it. I think it's different than any other city that America has. Yes, we are overcrowded. Yes, there are a million bachelorettes, but I do think it's something unique that separates us from everywhere else. So with that being said, a good trend. Morgan Wallen is opening a bar near the Ryman.
Mhm.
Luke Combs on 2nd Ave.
Mhm.
Eric Church on the corner of 2nd and Broadway. And Old Dominion,
Nice.
Odie's. But
Hashtag ad.
they're hopping over the bridge. They're going Midtown. So if you've been in Nashville and you've been to what used to be Rebar across from the Distillery
Loved Rebar.
near Kung Fu. Oh, I loved Rebar.
That was the spot.
great patio
Yeah.
football watching space.
Not even football watching, just a nighttime. You're going out late. You're going to Rebar.
I couldn't disagree with that more if I tried.
All right. Well,
I really used Rebar as a daytime hang
okay.
because at night it turned into 21-year-old fratty bros
Okay.
in my experience.
Right. This was 10 years ago, so I was mid-20s. Just
So
moved
you were the
here.
fratty bro.
I was never a fratty bro.
I've
Nah.
seen the length of your shorts. I beg to differ.
You think my short length is a fratty bro length?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
Anyways, so Odie's is opening supposedly this summer, which is going to be an Old Dominion bar, and it's been something in the works. Obviously, these things don't just like pop up overnight. And I'm excited because I have completely bullied my way into a situation of bartending there. I miss bartending.
Yeah.
And I just feel like what better way than to pick up a shift or two a week? I mean, my boss, I know the bosses pretty well. So I'm hoping they'll give me an opportunity to sling some drinks with their name on it. But I'm excited.
So is Odie's like their version of Swifties? If you go to, you're a fan of Old Dominion, you're an Odie?
No, but I feel like that's a great. Maybe I should tell them that. No, but it's just like OD. Whose bar is it? It's OD's. Old Domillions. Old Domillions.
Old Domillions.
I can't even say it.
O letter D.
Yeah.
Odie's. Okay, but her hat says ODIES.
Yes.
Odie's. Gotcha.
It's like a nickname within the nickname.
All right.
Not Audie's, not whatever you were calling it. Even though I told you before we started filming what it was called and you still butchered it.
They might have to change that name because I bet you I'm not gonna be the only one calling it Audie's.
I can guarantee you anyone who is a fan of Old Dominion who is going to that bar will know exactly how to pronounce this without any sort of help.
But you're not just gonna be marketing towards your fans. You want everybody in Nashville to come to your bar.
What I'm saying is word of mouth is powerful, and people, they have a million followers on Instagram that already know how to correctly pronounce it. You're gonna have
millions of bachelorette girls coming here with their girls and be like, ooh, let's go to Odie's.
Exactly. That's what it's called, Booth.
Odie's.
Yeah, you see?
Yeah.
You already butchered it.
Yeah.
And you made my point. So I digress. What's your good trend,
That's the good news. Did you get paid for that?
I didn't.
Okay.
Maybe I should. Maybe I should. Can you clip that out for me and I can send it to my boss and be like, free advertising?
This is why SamCat and I's relationship is fantastic, because I was on the car drive over. I'm like, I guarantee you're going to have such polar opposite topics. And
yes,
here she is talking about this brand new bar opening in Midtown. And my good news is that scientists spot the brightest object ever 500 trillion times more luminous than the sun. That's pretty cool. That's pretty good.
Yeah, no, that is so cool. Please tell me more.
Yeah. Well, so quasars are the bright cores of distant galaxies powered by supermassive black holes and 12 billion light years away. One has been found that is shining brighter than 500 trillion suns. That's pretty bright.
Sorry, I just fell asleep. What? Like, okay. I mean, yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
That's cool. But the cool part is that it's probably burnt out long ago. And so now we're seeing it because it was 12 billion light years away.
It's just impossible for me to wrap my head around that. And I understand the science behind
it's wild.
Like how that's so astronomical, but it's just impossible for me to grasp.
I know.
Because
that's pretty
something
cool.
I'm seeing. That's like when Jeff was here and he was trying to explain like how nothing else exists in the universe, like an absolute nincompoop, because he's just like, this is science. And I'm like, but you literally just contradicted yourself and saying that things have been happening however many billions of years ago and now they're just catching up. So how can you smugly sit on my love seat and say that it doesn't exist? Like that's wild. That's just blasphemy.
I know. It's hard to wrap your brain around it. It's like 12 billion years ago, but now we are seeing it.
Yes.
And how do they know it was 12 billion years ago?
Because of science and projections and equations and things that give them that answer. Someone way smarter than you and I combined times 12 billion figured that out. Damn.
That's my good news.
I mean, I guess that's good news.
That's cool.
Hey, if that's what gets you going.
Yeah.
Who am I?
Gets me going. The bad.
The bad. My bad trend, again, I did no news. I did trends. My bad trend is just the incessant encouragement to overconsume on the internet.
Yeah.
There is no such thing as an Amazon must-have. Right. There's nothing on Amazon you must have.
We lived years without Amazon.
And it's just like every time, and I understand an algorithm and I do watch it, so I am guilty. Like I'm giving myself this content. I know how social media works. But every time I sign on Instagram, it's like the new trendy matching set, whatever plastic organizational bins you need, matching this. And like, not for nothing, but being alive is very expensive. Being a single adult is very expensive. Not having a dual income household, having children is expensive. All of that adds up. It's like you don't need to feel bad because you can't fully stock a guest room with like hundreds of dollars worth of products. And it's just like, it seems so casual and blasé, like on the internet, like, oh, you don't have a fully stocked guest bathroom?
Right.
You peasant.
Yeah.
I just think it's a bad trend. I feel like it is almost like subconsciously hurts you. I don't know. It's not like punches you straight in the face. It's kind of one of those things that I feel like sits with you.
Yeah. And it's like, is there going to be a breaking point where the bubble pops?
I
And
mean,
it's
there
just
has
like,
to be.
because it just feels like everything is sales.
And all those girls that come on and they're like, watch me try on my Amazon haul. Like that's hundreds of dollars. And then you don't know what they're returning, what they're keeping. They might have just purchased it to make the video and then they return it and they don't actually even own that. Also, you know this better than I do. How many things are you sent for free?
Yeah.
So it's like
Insane.
that girl is not spending $500 on that LED red light face mask that you want and that she's pushing for you to buy
Because she
earns a commission off of it,
exactly.
which I'm not hating on that. I understand that being an influencer can be super lucrative.
Yeah.
And if it pays the bills for your family, I mean, that's also great. But it's
Right.
just like, I don't know. I just feel like it's such a bad trend that I thought would have kind of died out by now, but I feel like it's only
getting
ramping
worse.
up.
Yeah, because now you got TikTok Shop and everything.
And it's
like
so
that.
quick to just click and like all of your information is saved and now it's at your front door.
It's all like now on my feed, it's all baby stuff.
Right.
Like every other freaking video. I'm like, do I need that?
But you don't though. That's the thing
exactly.
is that it's just, but it's so, it's sneaky to me. That's what I was saying. Like, I feel like it's subconscious where it's just like, why the fuck do I need 19 plastic bins for oranges in my fridge? It looks sexy. I'm like, I want a fridge that looks like that. Like, I love organization as much as the next clean freak, but I don't need to spend $150 on things. Like my fridge is what I spent money on to hold the oranges. I don't need the plastic bins on top of it. Like there are drawers within your fridge. You don't need it, Sammy.
It's crazy.
You don't need it.
Yeah. Everybody's trying to make a buck.
I know.
Creating these businesses, creating these products. Everybody wants to work for themselves, work online, work through Instagram.
And like I said, though, like that is a positive thing. I love that there are women out there that are feeding their kids and they don't have to leave their home. They get to be there with their kids.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I don't know, something's got to give there.
I've never heard the word haul so much than I have in the last month.
It's
Is
like
this
a
a
new
new thing? I'm like that and get ready with me. I cannot stand.
Get ready with me to go to the lawyer's office. It's like,
there's a guy on Instagram. It's hilarious, and he makes fun of them.
Is it haters?
He's
Hayden?
just this guy, and he's like, "All right, get ready with me," and he's using like butter and like peanut butter.
Yes. I know who you're talking about. I've seen him. He does it like
fantastic.
in the car.
Yeah.
I don't know what his name is, but shout out to that creator.
Because I literally saw one yesterday at Get Ready With Me, and I thought it was satire. Like I thought she was actually like being funny.
Oh,
but I'm like,
no,
no,
but she
this
was being
girl's
serious
right now.
I did see a girl who was, it kind of broke my heart. This girl was 10, 11. Get ready with me to go to the playground, whatever. And I'm like, I hate it. I just like, be a kid. I know I sound like a grumpy old get off my lawn man, but you don't need it. What are you getting ready for? You're 10.
Yeah.
Getting ready with you should consist of brushing your teeth and putting on some limited 2 outfits.
Right.
Like it's 97.
Yeah. I was thinking last night when I was just sitting with Locks, I'm like, I'm not going to give this boy an iPad or anything for years. I do not want him to be an iPad baby. And there's probably parents right now. They're like, just wait. You're going to like,
don't even say the words just wait.
And I'm not judging. I hate anybody judging any parenting, I guess, now that I have a kid. But an iPad.
Okay, wait. Also, but here's the thing. Clearly, I don't have kids. The words just wait absolutely send me. I don't know why it makes me irate. There is a difference between judging and just having an opinion.
Exactly, yeah.
You can have an opinion whether or not you have children.
Exactly.
So a personal preference. I'm not coming into your home and being like, you're a bad person because you do this. Like, I'm not judging you. You're a bad parent. Like, no.
Yeah, this is just the way you want to do it, or it's what you like.
Yes. So I would just really like to emphasize that there's a difference. I feel like people come for people, especially on the internet, where it's like, I wasn't saying that you're a bad person if you do this. You're a bad parent if you do this. I'm just saying personally.
Right. That's what.
This is just my opinion.
Yeah.
Take it or leave it. Move on with your life and continue doing what you're doing or adjust. I don't care.
Exactly.
It's just my opinion. Calm down, everybody.
Yeah. Well, that kind of brings me to my bad a little bit. Not really. My bad was, it was going to start off with AI. technology.
Yikes. Yeah.
Right?
It scares me.
Because it is kind of scary. It's really cool, though. Like, it's very fascinating. And it's really good. Like,
too good.
It's too good.
I mean, have we not learned anything from the movies that they've been creating for the last, I don't know, 50 years of how quickly robots and AI will destroy the world?
Right. And it's like, man, how many jobs are going to be taken over by that?
Well, there's already been so many jobs that have been taken over by technology in general.
Right.
You go to McDonald's now. I have not been to McDonald's in forever. And I stopped at McDonald's when I was on a road trip with my parents. And you walk in and there's machines. You just order at a screen and then there are people in the back cooking the food, but for how long? You're going to walk into a McDonald's in 20 years, there's not going to be a human on site. It's all robots.
Yeah, like look what I just posted on my Instagram, the Astro thing. Did you see that? It's an Astro mobile. It's like a little robot that moves around the gym.
Oh, for the gym.
And it's got a periscope thing which
is terrifying, but like pretty cool.
It's cool for like security reasons. So if I'm at home and then it hears something, it'll go to it and then it'll send me a live view of what's there.
Okay, but if someone's like robbing you, you'd think they don't have like
No, it pulls out a gun and it shoots them.
Tranquilizes them. And then you show up on scene and get to arrest. Yeah, okay. Them. Cool. Yeah, I mean, obviously, why wouldn't that happen?
Yeah.
I mean, the same thing. Like, I don't have an Alexa and I don't have a Hey Google. I don't have any of those things because
never use them. Siri. How often do you use Siri?
I mean, I kind of use Siri
for
a lot
what?
When I'm too lazy to type something out.
Like,
or if I'm cooking, I say, Hey Siri into my watch.
Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah. But those things it's proven that they do listen when you're talking in your house. I don't know. I sound like a conspiracy theorist and
look at that.
What the fuck? See?
Your choices will help me learn the ones you like.
That's crazy.
It's
playing. It went from that conversation to start playing Cinderella by Mac Miller featuring Ty Dolla $ign.
Because you said Fleetwood Mac and it heard Mac Miller, so it went with it. But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's so nosy. That's so creepy.
That is crazy.
We did not plan that, by the way. That was just organic content right there.
That's weird.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. They're listening all the time. That kind of stresses me out. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying in my house. I don't even know what I'm saying on a public podcast. Can you imagine when I'm in private?
I mean,
hell no.
This is what Dusty sent me the other day because I was talking to him about my tooth being out. And then he goes, okay, I just disabled my Instagram. The shit posted on my search window. Only discuss this with you via text. And this was right after I talked to him. And it's a dentist, or it's a lady with no front tooth.
Yes. I'm telling you, even more so than I think speaking, like texting, they graze over your text. And here's the thing. You and I and probably 99.9% of anyone listening and in the world is guilty of this as well, that when you update your phone or you download whatever, accept terms and conditions. I don't fucking believe that.
Nobody reads it, right? It's like 35 pages long.
They're going to get us. And they're like, yeah, we told you that we were listening and watching and managing your keystrokes and everything. So when you text your friend about a missing front tooth and then we just happen to give you that advertising and then you purchase it, sorry you fell subject to that, but that was the plan the whole time.
Do anything about it.
And you accepted it in these terms and conditions.
Yeah.
And you're just like, well, that's true.
That's why.
Which is terrifying.
You just need to move out to Montana.
Why do you think AI is cool but not good? You think it's bad?
I think it's useful for a lot of things, but
like Taylor Swift nudes. Did you hear about that?
No.
Her nudes got leaked, but as
Taylor
AI.
Swift don't have nudes.
Okay, Booth, let's start over. It's AI.
Okay,
it's not real.
Right.
Did you not bring up this subject matter and now you're like,
okay.
Now you're mad at me because you think I'm lying?
You said it leaked Taylor Swift's nudes, but
as
then
AI
nudes.
Yes, AI
so it's
nudes,
not her body.
But it looks pretty real.
Well, that's the crazy thing, too, is that now there could be controversial things that arise from AI, like Donald Trump, right? Who had conversations leaked in the past, and he was always like, this isn't me. I mean, he's probably lying. Like, there's all these impersonators, but now they have so much audio. They have so much audio of me and you now on the internet just from talking
you can
that you could literally make anything you wanted to, any sentence come out of our mouths
And release it.
Yeah.
And enough. It is, I mean, it's terrifying just in general, the accessibility that you have. Even, I mean, I try and be mindful about, and I am no one. Nobody's really following me around, but just in general, as a woman and to be safe, not posting in real time,
Yeah.
not
For sure.
giving them more to work with than I already am. Like obviously sitting here talking with you, like you said, they can edit anything to make me say anything.
Yeah.
But just, I mean, with a little, it's not even a lot of effort anymore. With a little bit of effort, you can expose yourself pretty quickly.
They must love that feature on The Bachelor now, the AI tool.
Yeah.
Because they were cutting up sentences when I was there 10 years ago. Like, I
yeah.
literally remember it was the third week or something, and they panned to me, and it said, I, and then they panned away from me, and it said, love her. And they used me saying love from like
somewhere
weeks after.
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't say that. I'm not in love with her yet. I've literally been here for like 4 days. These people at home are going to think I'm crazy.
They did.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But that's why they loved it. And that's why they watch it. And they know that that's what gets the audience going. And so,
yeah. Like,
I mean,
creepy. He's saying he loves her already. Doesn't even know her. But I'm like,
and then they got to know you and they're like, oh yeah, he is creepy.
Yeah, exactly. Checks out. So then now they got the AI tool. But then also when I walked in here, you guys both, producer Andrew and you said that your phones don't work.
Oh yeah, big.
What's going on with that?
I woke up this morning and I had no service, but I had obviously full bars because I was, or full Wi-Fi because I was in my house. And then you texted me with plenty of time to think of subject matter for this podcast that I was already driving to. And so once I left Wi-Fi, my phone just said SOS. So I walked in and I was just like, I asked Andrew immediately, have you ever just had SOS, like, and you're not in a dead zone, you're in your house? And he goes, oh, do you have AT&T immediately? And I said, yes. And he said, oh, it's a nationwide thing. So I haven't really done extensive research, seeing as I found out about it about 20 seconds before we started this. But apparently T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T are struggling with their services today, which I don't know. I've heard a lot of theories that the next pandemic is going to be digital. And have you seen the one, that movie on Netflix with Julia Roberts, the End of the World movie? I can't remember the name of it now. It's escaping me, but it kind of follows the same plot line.
She was like blindfolded or something?
No.
Was that? Which one was that?
First of all, that was Sandra Bullock.
Oh,
and that was a completely different movie.
Yeah.
But it's relatively recent, with Julia Roberts. Let me look it up. And well, I don't know if I can because my phone doesn't work. But it basically is just like a bunch of technology starts to fail, and like Teslas are driving themselves and crashing into each other because they can't stop because there's like a digital takeover.
Well, that's what is the biggest threat to the country, to the world. And there was something on the podcast. I don't know where it was. I saw a clip on TikTok, and there's a guy talking about war, right? Yeah, there'll be wars, nuclear war. The U.S. isn't going to be really threatened by that because our technology is so far advanced and better than every other country. So it's not really that scary for us to get hit with a nuclear weapon. But he's like, the technology war is the biggest one that would take down the country in like 15 minutes.
And the easiest. I mean, I don't know if it's easiest. Like, what do I know? I'm literally nobody. But I'm just saying that it is less physical effort.
Right.
You don't have to send millions of bodies in and all this stuff that, like, you know, when you and I were in school and we were learning about war, the picture of war in our head was much different than a war that could wage today digitally and electronically and technology.
And that's what the scary part is.
The movie is called Leave the World Behind. It's very strange. It's very interesting, but it's one of those things that doesn't feel too far off. Feels pretty feasible, which, you know, I saw this trend, speaking of trends and good, bad, and ugly, but that the millennial midlife crisis is homesteading. Like before, it was like you buy a red convertible and cheat on your wife and whatever, you know, like the stereotypical midlife crisis. Now it's that like you move out to land and get chickens and like have a farm. And I'm just thinking to myself, I've never felt more exposed because that's all I want to do.
Yeah.
I want to have a 1/4-mile driveway. I want to live off my land. I want to have my own chickens. I want to like not depend on mass chain anything.
I feel like that's David Beckham right now. The dude keeps posting videos, I think, of him and his chickens like getting eggs in the morning.
I'm sure he's a millennial. I love that for him. And that's like, I think that's a benchmark in success for me.
Yeah.
That's one of my goals now. I'm like, oh,
Right. I'm like, that dude has been everywhere in the world, been the most famous guy in the world at one point, married the, super famous rock band girl, best soccer
did you just call
player.
Spice Girls a rock band?
Yeah.
If you
But
wanna
he's had
be
the highest of
my
highs ever. And now he's probably like just trying to find anything to get his like adrenaline going or get like some type of
Do you
feeling.
think that?
Yeah. I'm like, he's probably experienced everything in his life that now it's like, what could I do to
Maybe he's just
fulfill my
chilling.
day? Yeah. And just chilling, it's cool.
It is weird. I'm to sound cliche. I don't care if I sound cliche. I do truly believe that like a lot of the fun in life is figuring it out and
Yeah.
like going through it and the quote unquote journey, if you will.
Yeah.
That makes me want to gag saying that out loud. That I feel like that's why sometimes really successful people kind of fall into a rut or a level of depression because, like you said, he's achieved
Everything.
so much. He's
Yeah.
not old. He's young. He's got
Yeah.
a lot of life to live.
Stud.
And it's like, okay, well, now what do I do?
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
I did it. And
That's
it's
what
almost
I mean.
like, oh, kind of like an empty feeling. And
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, it goes to show that figuring it out and going on the journey is a lot of the fun that
Right.
when you do it so young, it's kind of like, well, now what do I do?
Yeah. How do I spend the rest of my days? He's got a beautiful family, kids,
Yeah.
all the money in the world. He can go anywhere he wants, do anything he wants.
Yeah. But the good news is that he has all the money in the world. So his sources are not limited.
Right.
He can really dig deep and find something
Yeah.
that I'm sure will entertain him.
Yeah. 'Cause
And I could not imagine just money not even being like an object. It doesn't deter anything.
I know. It's weird to think about.
90%, 99%, I feel like
9% of people don't know that feeling.
money is
Yeah.
the biggest thing in the room. It's the biggest elephant in the room about any situation.
Yeah, and it's bullshit when everybody's like, it doesn't make you happier. Okay, that might be the truth where it doesn't make you happier having more money, but it
It can
makes
provide some
life
happiness.
a lot less stressful.
Yes.
You don't have to wake up worrying about it. You don't have to grind all day to achieve it.
Right.
You can live your life in a more content lifestyle, peaceful, and spend more time doing the things you want to do. So yeah, maybe it doesn't make you happier, but it definitely makes life a lot less stressful.
I think it can contribute to your happiness.
Yeah.
And I'd much rather
Well, I
cry.
guess, yeah, to an extent, for sure.
Yeah.
But if you buy, say, the best car you've ever wanted to buy, then you'd be like, okay, that's cool. And then like a couple months later, you'd be like, it's the same.
Sure, but if I had an endless supply, I would be going on bomb-ass vacations with people that I loved. That would provide me a lot of happiness.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I would be the most generous rich person too. Like, hi, just wanted to let you know I already bought your plane ticket and you have like 13 hours to pack and I'll see you in.
Yeah. You don't need to pack because I bought you all your clothes.
That's fair.
And your suitcase.
Well, I would just give them a cordial 13-hour heads up, I guess.
Yeah, 13 hours. Yeah. Or it'd be like, hey, look outside your window.
There's a chopper.
Yeah. But I wouldn't buy a chopper. Those things go down all the time.
Listen, if Kobe Bryant can die in one of those, so can I. I'll never get in one.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why his death literally changed my view of helicopters.
They've always been bad.
But I don't know why I don't know why. I was just like, wow, he seemed invincible to me because he's like such an elite athlete and all that stuff. And I'm like, dang, if he can go down, I can go down. And I just have never looked at a helicopter the same since that death.
Yeah. Even that country duo here.
Yep.
Gentry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was before Kobe.
Yeah.
But still, I don't know why Kobe was a turning point for me. I have no.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, he's looked at as a superhuman hero. Everybody in the world knows him, and just like that.
You were the one who told me about Kobe dying. I
remember I was in the gym.
Yeah, we were in the lobby, and you're like, Kobe Bryant died, and I was like, are you kidding? Like,
yeah.
And you're like, SamCat, why would I joke about that? So defensive immediately. And I was like, okay, sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. And I was like, I don't know. I just feel like out of all the things that were going to come out of your mouth, Kobe Bryant dies was not in the top 1 billion.
I know.
And then in a helicopter was not in the top 3 billion.
It was like one of those things where you know where you were, like 9/11.
Yes.
Like, I remember sitting behind the desk, got a mess with my phone. I went to the computer. I'm like, what?
Yes, I was there.
Yeah.
Same with when Michael Jackson died. I remember when Michael Jackson died. I was there.
At the airport.
I was babysitting.
Yeah.
It is wild how those things kind of stick out to you.
Yeah.
But do you have any of those memories when something good happened?
There's this new planet that's like 1,500 times bigger, brighter than the sun. I was driving here and I saw that.
What would be a good thing though? Like what would be a
Something good?
monumental good thing?
Like personally to you and your life, or just
no, like how Michael Jackson died. That's a terrible thing. Kobe Bryant died. That's a terrible thing. What is the good version of that? Like,
That's
let's swing the pendulum the other way.
The good
It's
thing.
terrible that we can't think of something good in where we were.
Yeah.
Like we can something bad.
Hmm.
And I'm learning this in real time.
Yeah, same. Maybe that's why people...
When the Twin Towers fell, 4th grade. No, 6th grade. Mr. King's 4th period class.
Yeah.
I was in the 2nd row. I'll never forget.
Yeah, I was a sophomore in high school walking from gym class.
I even remember what I was wearing.
Yeah. I remember walking to science class, and then the teacher next door kept coming in and out to talk with our teacher because his wife took a flight out of the same airport, and he couldn't get in touch with her.
And it was 2001, so it wasn't like, nowadays.
Yeah.
You can just call them.
Because I was in Connecticut, and so we had an airport in our town, and...
Yeah, that's terrifying.
The girl that I was dating, her dad was in New York City that day.
And it's been however many years, and when they do, the memorial shows, documentaries, every 9/11, it's never not just as devastating to me.
I know.
I can't imagine. It gives me the chills. It's like, I can't believe that happened in my lifetime.
Yeah.
And was so, I mean, I don't know. I feel like the other big historical event that we learned about that would be similar would be Pearl Harbor. Yeah. And that almost seems, I don't want to say fake because I feel like that's offensive, but it was just so before my time. It was in a space that's so far away from the mainland where I lived. Like it just was a historical reference that I learned about instead of history being made that I was living.
Right.
And I wasn't even there. I was in Chicago in 6th grade hanging out in Mr. King's class.
Yeah. I mean, now I'm just trying to think of something good.
Yeah. Isn't that terrible that we can't?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Weird. What does that say about humans?
Focus on the bad.
Yeah.
It's easy to do.
But what about the ugly?
Oh, back on track, Booth. So again, mine's a trend. And mine is a little more personal, which I feel like, I don't know, your target demographic of who's listening to you here, but I am a millennial. You are a millennial. And I've joked about it on my Instagram previously. But I just feel like the ugly trend is being inundated with Gen Z ripping on absolutely everything millennials do.
Oh, wow. You do sound like the old man on the get off my lawn right now.
And here's the thing.
You're going to start a war.
No, I'm not going to start a war. I just don't get it because I was like, maybe I just had selective memory and I used to make fun of Gen X and I just don't remember. But
that's
then
what I'm saying. What were you doing at their age?
But then I put out a poll on my Instagram. I've asked my other millennial friends. I'm like, did we do this? Every single one of them was like, no. I gave zero shits about
Give us some examples here.
I log on TikTok, Instagram, whatever, and it's just like, oh my God, sandals are so chuggy.
What's chuggy?
Chuggy is what Gen Z calls millennials.
Chuggy with a G?
CHEUGY, chuggy.
Wow.
Oh my God, no-show socks are so chuggy. Oh my God. Everything, I'm like, okay, so what am I supposed to wear? A brown paper bag?
Yeah, you should just be like, first of all, girl, everything you're wearing right now is what we wore in the 90s.
And it was ugly then, and it's ugly
still
now.
ugly now.
We already got rid of that.
You got the chunky
Why
shoes,
are you bringing
the baggy
it back?
pants. Like, I watch people on Instagram and TikTok, and I'm like, you look like...
We already did this. We already did this when we were getting our adult teeth. We already cleared this from the fashion archives, and you brought it back. Have you walked around Target lately?
But it looks like they just throw anything. Like, it looks like your friend who's trying to make you look terrible says, close your eyes, I'm going to put something on you.
It looks
and it's like, that's fashion.
No, it looks like you are doing a walk of shame.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
like with sneakers that actually fit you instead of whoever shoes you borrowed from the frat house that you're walking home from.
Yeah.
I don't understand why.
But now do we sound old? Like we sound like
we
the
sound
old people.
No. Listen, I don't mind sounding old. I love sounding old. Great. I have more experience than you. I don't understand the obsession with like, oh my God, millennials are so gross. They're so cringe. They're so this. And I'm just like, I never felt that way about the people older than me.
No,
I never cared.
You think there's
what kind
more
of
respect?
Socks. Are you fucking kidding me? What kind of socks someone who is older than me is wearing in their day-to-day life? What?
Yeah.
And I know that like social media contributes to it and
Big
trends
time, right?
and
Because we didn't have that.
one
so we
person
didn't get to
sees
see it.
But you guys have nothing better to do. And that's the thing.
They
Is that They
don't.
don't.
I
I'm
know.
like, just wait, baby. Call me when you don't know how to pay your property taxes. Call me when you go into escrow and you're freaking out because like, yeah. Call me when you're trying to figure out all of a sudden you sneezed and threw your back out. And you're like, holy shit.
Done that.
Should I go to the doctor?
Yeah.
So when you have those kind of things to worry about, then maybe you're not going to be concerned about how high my socks come up on my ankles.
Chuggy cat.
Emerson or whatever Gen Z name you have. Like,
And that's the thing, but they all come back. So what? They're saying tube socks are the look?
No,
we've always had tube socks.
The mid ankle. And that's the thing is that I don't even really know what's trending. I don't know what's cute. I know that a black high-rise skinny jean will never go out of style. And I don't really care what a 17-year-old with no pores tells me on the internet. I'm like, yeah, it must be nice to not have a wrinkle. So boomers are yelling at us that we ruined the economy and we killed it with avocado toast and not having children. And then on the other side, Gen Z's like, oh my God, I can't believe you're wearing those socks. It's like, I can't win.
But
I'm
it's
just trying to stay in my lane.
generation going at,
But not, Gen X is just like coasting, baby. Just coasting.
What's the demographic for that? What's the
Exactly.
age?
That's what I'm saying. Like 47, I think. I know Gen Z and millennial cusp is 97. I think it's to like 80 to 97 maybe.
Yeah.
So anyone born before that is technically Gen X. And then, in the 60s is boomers. I'm not sure. I'm butchering this. I'm sure someone's like screaming in their car right now at me to get it right. But Gen X is just coasting. I'm like, I feel like I identify as a Gen X.
Yeah.
Nobody's ripping on them. They're just living their best life.
Nobody cares.
But that's what I'm saying. I never cared what they were doing. I'm like, hey, you guys are trying to figure out as well.
Yeah.
Seems pretty simple to me. That's my ugly trend. I know we're getting old, but I don't care. I don't know why Gen Z cares. It seems like misplaced energy. We could be doing much better things with that.
We could. But hey, teach their own, right?
To each their own.
Is that what they say?
I mean, I guess.
All right, my ugly.
What's your ugly?
This is trending right now. I don't know if you've seen this. You've had to have seen this.
I don't know. My phone's not working.
Tessa Ressa?
No idea.
Have you heard about this?
No idea.
Oh, man. Andrew, have you heard about Tessa Ressa? Okay, no. Tessa Ressa. Okay. There's this girl on TikTok, and she did this 50-part series. She's amassed over like hundreds of millions of views.
Okay.
And her name is Tessa Ressa, and it's Who the Fuck Did I Marry?
Okay. Actually,
you heard about
Dre told me about it when I was at your house yesterday.
Okay.
So that I feel like that's cheating. So I didn't figure that out on my own. She
and
was
I heard
like,
from
I've been
Dre. I'm
watching
like,
it.
what are you listening to? Just like all day.
Yes. She said there's 50 videos.
I'm like, you listen to 50 videos?
But she'll play it. And she said she puts her phone down on the counter and just like takes care of whatever she's doing and listens to it like a podcast.
This is
and in order. With that being said, I do have a public service announcement. The series Who the Fuck Did I Marry is not something that you have to sit down and hold your phone and watch. I did it the way I did it, so that way you actually can listen to it as an audience.
So this girl literally just sits in front of her phone and has 50 plus videos, I think.
But what an intriguing way to get information out. She has her own podcast right now, but it's on TikTok.
She now has 2.3 million followers.
Yes.
21.6 million likes.
How many minutes until she has a Netflix documentary?
That's what Dre was saying. I was like, yeah, probably. I mean, look at.
Well, give us a tea. What does she talk about?
I don't even think it needs 50 parts. I said the same thing to Dre. I go, Dre, give me a 30-second recap of what is going on with this girl.
Okay, but the girlies out there love true crime docs. So just because you want the 37
crime docs,
30-second recap doesn't mean that the rest of the world does.
Story, and I'm gonna try not to leave anything important out recently.
Okay, I'm gonna try and find the quickest recap here on TikTok and just play it for you guys because I cannot sit here and explain it.
Is this gonna make me like afraid to live by myself?
No, it's just some girl who.
Ressa from Georgia has gone viral after she outed her ex-husband as a pathological liar and master manipulator in a 50-part TikTok series. The nearly 8-hour-long saga broke down every step of Ressa's explosive relationship with ex-husband's Legion, detailing the lies he told to con her into a relationship. Ressa says he gave false promises of hidden wealth, offering to buy her lavish gifts, including paying for her rent and bills, but would fake phone calls with financial advisors and find excuses not to pay. He even said he was working as the vice president of a condiment company. She discovered he was in fact unemployed and cheating with his ex-wife. Her suspicions came to a head when she was asked to provide her spouse's social security number for a new job, only to discover he had lied about where he lived, where he went to school, and said she was forced to run a background check on him. Her ex-husband has now hit back at her claims, telling her to stop lying.
The real reason I left you, you cheated. I call you in the house with Bradley.
Regardless of whose side you're on, the dramatic saga has left online users second-guessing their own partner's credibility.
Bam! I need social security numbers. Offshore account. You have offshore account.
Okay.
So,
First of all, what? She said no matter which side you're on. How are there sides?
oh, I know, because
But
somebody
what?
said yesterday, they're like, yeah, he came out and said all of it's a lie. I'm like, you're telling me all of it's a lie, man?
No, it's terrifying that I feel as though this is not the first time I've heard of a situation like this. Like there are other documentaries that I've watched.
I know. I
Bad
almost did a
surgeon?
story asking if anybody out there following us has any type of stories like that, where I'm sure there are, but not to that extent, maybe. I guess he had a twin brother
That's
who was successful doing all that stuff.
so he was just using
And
his
also,
life.
he lied about family members getting or being killed during COVID. Took her out to a gravesite, which apparently they weren't even there. Yeah, that's a whole
Okay.
big thing. But I'm like, oh, man, 50 parts. She's
8
actually very
hours worth of
smart for
content
that.
is great. Yeah, no, she's playing the game and she's doing it correctly. And also, yes, I want to know every detail. Give me 8 hours worth of content. That's something that you can put on while you're cleaning your house and have entertainment. I love
Yeah.
that. But I cannot imagine. I just don't understand. I understand lies. Obviously, I understand lies. Everybody lies. But there are people who I feel like can't help themselves. They don't even know what reality versus the lie is. They're such a pathological liar.
Because they convince themselves.
Yes.
Yes.
And then they believe that that is reality.
Yeah.
Or that's the truth. And it's, I mean, I don't want to say it's common, but I feel like it's common.
for sure.
More common than I'd like it to be, I
yeah,
guess.
I bet that there's so many people that live these double lives.
But then you marry them, you commit your life with them, and then you find out because you had to find their social security number. Yeah, miss me with that.
Also, I mean, this girl stayed with him through a lot of red flags. Like,
But when you're in love, you don't see them
I
as
think
much.
she was pregnant too.
And that also adds to the stress.
Exactly.
But
And they also started dating, and he moved in like a couple weeks later, and then he started like buying her stuff, which she was like, okay.
there are the trends that it's like, right out from the beginning, some of the things that they do really backs up who they say that they are. And then as time goes on, all of a sudden they're faking financial calls, or they have to do this, or they can't buy that. We can't go on this trip anymore. Like, have you seen Bad Surgeon on Netflix?
Is that the Dr. Death guy?
The one that puts the plastic tracheas in people's necks?
Ugh.
Yeah, no, it's like 2-part. First of all, he was a fraud in a medical space and was like killing patients and using them as like guinea pigs. Basically, he did all of the research backwards, where you're supposed to test in a lab and then go through all of these procedures until you're able to perform on a human. And he somehow faked everything, faked the results, and started experimenting on people. And that's one half of it. But the other half is that he had a lavish life. Then he was engaged to this woman who ended up being a journalist. Then come to find out he has multiple women, multiple families. He speaks 7 different languages across literally
Damn.
the entire world. And it just like unravels piece by piece, which sounds similar to
Yeah, Risa Tisa.
Risa Tisa.
Who
Is
the
that
hell
really her
names
name?
their kid Risa if her last name's Tisa?
Is that really her name?
Yeah, I mean, that's like if I had a girl naming her Ruth.
Ruth Booth. Oh, I kind of like that though.
Risa Tisa is a wild name.
And you know what? It's going to go down in history because she is a
Yeah, she's going to be
phenomenal self-marketing.
famous. She's going to get a ton of money. She's going to get all these brand deals. Dre
And you
was
know
trying
what?
to tell me that she's making millions off of the creator fund for TikTok. I'm like, there's no way she's making that much.
I bet you she will eventually, but good for her. She earned it. She married a pathological liar who tried to ruin her life.
Yeah.
And now she's going to make money off it. Listen, if you're going to be a psycho, That's up to you. But who said I can't make money off it?
Yeah. Get it, girl. Get it, Ressa.
Yeah. I also just add that to the list of reasons. I'm like, you know what? I'm okay alone. I'm good. I just feel like every time I'm like, I should try, I hear stories like this and I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. That sounds terrifying. I'd rather be alone for the rest of my entire life than marry someone who's just a pathological liar from top to bottom.
But I got to imagine the odds of that are pretty slim.
But how do you know?
You don't know,
They're very
SamCat,
convincing.
until you try it.
Oh, I'm good. I'm on a hiatus. I'm good. Thank you so much for your concern.
All right. Well, there you have it.
The good, bad, and the ugly.
The good, the bad, the ugly. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Hopefully you get your service back.
Let's see where we're at.
But hey, you said it earlier.
Still says no. No
should
dots.
be nice. It should be a good feeling, freeing, right? You don't have to watch everybody selling you shit. You don't got to watch.
No, my Wi-Fi still works. I'm just talking about like, I don't know, people who are working in corporate America right now. Like, what is it? It's 11 o'clock on a weekday.
Yeah.
What if you had a very important business call and you can't conduct it anymore?
Too bad. So sad.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you so much for your empathy. I just feel like that could really fuck up a lot of things that we're not even thinking about right now. Just because I'm in my own little bubble and safe doesn't mean that it has repercussions across, I don't know, the world. How far is this going? Or is it just America?
Could be just America. That would be scary. But if you're like me and you got T-Mobile, you should have full bars, 5G right now. I'm looking good over here.
You have T-Mobile?
T-Mobile.
Okay.
Everybody always asks me why I have T-Mobile. It's great. I got it when I was back and forth from Canada and with my ex because it was free Canadian minutes. You got free minutes to Canada and Mexico.
Speaking of being old, remember when you had to like
a
wait
certain amount
until
of
9
minutes?
p.m.
Yeah.
to make free calls?
Oh, yeah.
I saw a meme that was like, I told a Gen Z that I used to have to pay 10 cents per text message, and they asked me what kind of medication I was on. And I was like, that's fair. I would also not believe them if someone told me that in modern day times as well. But that was it, kids. Back when I was wearing my no-show socks and pissing you off.
There she is. She is the angry man that wants you to get off her lawn.
I am not angry, and I don't want you to get off my lawn, but I do want to put chickens on my lawn, so.
We'll let you do that. Odie's, happy to be here.
Happy to be here.
Team on 3.
Team.